Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, things just don't go your way? You plan, you hustle, you double-check every detail, yet somehow life slips out of your hands like sand. That feeling isn't just frustrating, it's exhausting. Here's the truth most people don't want to admit. The more you try to control life, the more it controls you. In Buddhist teachings, the idea of non-attachment isn't about being passive or giving up. It's about understanding a cosmic truth. Nothing in this world is truly under your control. Not time, not people, not even your next breath. The more you chase certainty, the more life responds with chaos. But once you stop clinging, something magical happens. Peace. Real, deep, unshakable peace. This video will guide you through the powerful and sometimes shocking Buddhist truths about control, freedom, and surrender. From understanding the illusion of ownership to discovering the bliss of flow, you'll learn why letting go isn't defeat, it's mastery. We'll also explore how monks live so peacefully without material control, and why spiritual leaders say your obsession with control is the very thing holding you back from happiness. Ready to make life easier? Then let's begin this journey by letting go. 1. The illusion of control. Why nothing truly belongs to you. We live in a world obsessed with control. Control your time, control your success, control your future. From the moment we wake up, we try to manage everything: our appearance, our jobs, our social media, even the opinions of others. But here's the shocking truth hidden deep in Buddhist wisdom. Control is an illusion, and the more you chase it, the more it slips away. In the Dhammapada, the Buddha teaches that all conditioned things are impermanent. That includes your money, your health, your relationships, even your body. Yet we cling to these things as if they are ours forever, and in doing so, we suffer. Think about it. You don't own the weather. You can't stop time. You can't force someone to love you. You can't even predict your next heartbeat. So why do we exhaust ourselves trying to control everything? The reason is fear. Fear of the unknown. Fear of failure. Fear of losing. But ironically, the tighter you grip, the more anxious and exhausted you become. Let's take a simple example. You plan the perfect day. Meetings scheduled, outfits picked, routes mapped. Then the unexpected hits. Traffic jam, cancelled appointment, spilled coffee. Suddenly, frustration and panic set in. But what if you could release that need to control the outcome? What if you flowed with the day instead of fighting it? That's the secret Buddhist monks live by. They wake up each day with no expectation of what will happen, only a deep trust in the present moment. They don't resist change, they accept it, because they know that nothing truly belongs to them, not even this moment. Everything is borrowed, everything is fleeting. The illusion of control is one of the biggest traps of the modern mind. We think we're the master of our lives, but in reality, we're often at the mercy of things far beyond our reach. When you understand this, not just in your mind, but in your soul, you unlock peace. You stop chasing. You start breathing. Real peace begins when you realize this one powerful truth. You don't need to control life to enjoy it. You just need to be present and let go. 2. The Buddhist art of letting go. Surrender without giving up. When most people hear "let it go," they imagine giving up, walking away, or becoming weak. But in Buddhist teachings, letting go is not about quitting. It's about understanding what you cannot control and releasing the mental chains that are quietly stealing your peace. It's about surrender, but not surrender in the way most people think. This is not failure. This is freedom. Buddhism teaches us to engage with life, but without clinging to it. The Buddha himself walked away from wealth, comfort, and even his family, not because he didn't care, but because he understood the trap of attachment. Clinging to what must change is the beginning of suffering. Letting go is not abandoning your responsibilities. It's letting go of the illusion that you can force life to fit your expectations. Think of a leaf falling from a tree. The leaf doesn't fight gravity. It trusts the process. Life is the same. You plan, you act, but then you must release. Trying to grip every moment tightly only leads to tension and disappointment. The secret is to care deeply, but release easily. Letting go does not mean you stop loving. It means you love without needing to possess. It doesn't mean you stop trying. It means you try without becoming obsessed with the outcome. When a Buddhist monk loses a bowl or robe, they do not cry or rage. They simply accept, because they know that nothing is truly theirs, not even their body. The practice of letting go starts in everyday moments. When someone disrespects you, don't react, let it go. When plans fall apart, don't panic, let it go. When your past haunts you, don't relive it, let it go. These small moments build spiritual strength. This is what surrender truly means. You're not walking away, you're walking free. You're not passive, you're peaceful. You're not weak, you're wise. The most powerful part of your life begins the moment you stop forcing things to happen and start trusting the flow of what is. In surrender, there is clarity. In letting go, there is room for miracles. So let go, not to lose control, but to gain something even better. Peace. 3. Control versus mastery. Why one drains you and the other frees you. Control and mastery may look similar from the outside, but they come from completely different energies. One is rooted in fear, the other in awareness. One is desperate to shape the world. The other has already shaped the self. Most people live in a constant state of control, trying to micromanage everything and everyone. They try to control time, people's opinions, outcomes, and even their own emotions. It's a full-time job, and the payment is stress. Control requires constant energy, because it's based on the illusion that if you don't tighten your grip, everything will fall apart. But here's the truth. Control doesn't bring safety. It brings exhaustion. Now compare that to mastery. Mastery doesn't demand perfection. It creates alignment. It's the wisdom to know what's yours to influence and what's not. The Buddha mastered his mind, not the world. And because of that, nothing could disturb his peace. Imagine trying to control the wind. You can't, but you can learn to sail. That's mastery. You understand the forces around you and move with them instead of against them. Control fights. Mastery flows. Control forces. Mastery listens. Control wants to be right. Mastery wants to grow. Here's a powerful example. A master monk once said, "The person who angers you controls you." That's control. But the one who breathes deeply and responds calmly, they have mastery. They're not owned by the outside world. They are centered, grounded, and free. Mastery begins with self-awareness. You stop trying to fix everything outside and start observing what's happening inside. You notice your triggers. You respond instead of react. You accept what you cannot change, and that acceptance is power. Control says, "I must fix this now." Mastery says, "I will act wisely and let go of the rest." Buddhism isn't about controlling the storm. It's about becoming still within it. When you live from that place, you no longer need the world to cooperate for you to feel peace. You carry peace with you, always. Control is tiring. Mastery is liberating. Once you understand the difference, your entire life begins to change. You move from anxiety to clarity, from force to flow, from fear to freedom. 4. The root of suffering is attachment, not what you think. Most people believe suffering comes from failure, loss, or heartbreak. But in Buddhism, suffering doesn't come from what happens to us. It comes from attachment. And this attachment runs deeper than we realize. It's not just about clinging to people or possessions. It's about the invisible mental grip we place on outcomes, expectations, and our own identity. The Buddha taught that attachment is the root of all suffering. That means the pain isn't always in the event itself, but in how tightly we hold on to what we want versus what is. We want someone to love us a certain way. We expect life to go according to plan. We cling to who we think we are and resist anything that challenges that idea. The tighter we hold, the more we suffer when life inevitably shifts. Attachment whispers, "This must stay the same for me to be happy." But nothing in this world stays the same. People grow apart. Bodies age. Plans fail. Money disappears. Even the most beautiful moments can't last forever. When we try to freeze them in time, we create inner pain. Letting go of attachment doesn't mean not caring. It means caring without ownership. You can love someone deeply, but you don't need to possess them. You can have dreams, but you're not destroyed if they evolve. This is the essence of Buddhist detachment, not a cold heart, but a free one. One monk put it this way: hold everything in your life like you would hold water in your hands, gently, knowing it can slip through your fingers at any moment. That's the spiritual skill. To love fully, but not cling. To show up completely, but not attach your identity to what happens. So the next time you're in pain, ask yourself, what am I clinging to? What do I refuse to let go of? The answer is often the key to your healing. Suffering begins with attachment, but peace begins the moment you release it. When you understand this, you no longer fear change, you flow with it. And that shift, it's the beginning of your freedom. 5. Why letting go attracts more than holding on. Here's a paradox most people don't expect. The moment you let go is often the moment everything starts to work. We are taught that holding on tightly shows commitment, strength, and focus. But in spiritual reality, especially in Buddhist teachings, letting go is what creates space for true abundance to flow in. Think about it. Have you ever chased something so hard that it felt like it ran away from you? Whether it was a relationship, money, or even peace of mind, the more you tried to force it, the more it eluded you. That's not coincidence. That's energy. Clinging sends a message to the universe. I don't trust you. I must control this, or I'll lose everything. But letting go says, I trust that what's meant for me will stay. I release what's not aligned. That energy shift changes everything. Buddhist monks let go of material possessions not because they don't desire comfort, but because they know that attachment blocks the natural flow of blessings. When your hands are full of fear, doubt, and control, you have no space left to receive. But when you open your hands, suddenly, life delivers. Letting go doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing your part, and then releasing the outcome. You show up with intention, but without desperation. You walk away from what drains you, even if you don't know what's next. You release people who don't value you, not because you don't care, but because you've stopped clinging to pain disguised as love. Sometimes, the universe is just waiting for you to let go of the wrong thing before it brings in the right one. Ask yourself, what in your life are you holding on to out of fear? What could shift if you opened your grip? When you let go, your energy softens, your mind clears. Your heart becomes magnetic to the very things you've been struggling to manifest. It's not magic, it's alignment. Letting go is not losing, it's allowing. You stop chasing, and suddenly, the right things start arriving. Not because you forced them, but because you made room. When you stop holding on so tightly, that's when life begins to show you its best offerings. 6. Flow state. How life aligns when you stop fighting it. Have you ever had a day where everything just worked? You weren't stressed, you weren't overthinking, yet everything flowed smoothly. That's called the flow state. And in Buddhist teachings, it's not a rare miracle. It's the natural rhythm of life when you stop resisting and start allowing. The flow state is where inspiration strikes, where effort feels effortless, and where peace meets productivity. Athletes call it the zone. Creatives call it alignment. Monks simply call it presence. And it only happens when you surrender the need to control every little thing. In Buddhism, flow begins with stillness. It's not about doing nothing. It's about releasing the inner struggle. You observe life instead of attacking it. You breathe instead of forcing. You respond with awareness, not reaction. And when you do, the universe responds in kind. Think of a river. When you fight the current, you waste your energy. But when you flow with it, you move farther with ease. Most people live in resistance. They want their partner to change, their job to act differently, their path to match a plan. But that resistance creates friction, and friction blocks flow. The Buddha taught mindfulness as a gateway to flow. Be here, right now. Don't obsess over the past. Don't fear the future. Just be. In this moment, exactly as it is. That's where all power lives. Flow is not about controlling the future. It's about being fully present in the now. Want to unlock flow in your own life? Start by releasing the shoulds. I should be further ahead. I should be happier. I should be more successful. Drop the story. Embrace what is. From that place of acceptance, you become more creative, more intuitive, and more open to the life that's trying to reach you. Monks don't rush through life. They walk slowly, mindfully, in rhythm with the universe. That's not laziness, it's mastery. They understand something most of us forget. Life isn't a battle to win, it's a dance to join. When you stop fighting, you enter the flow. And in flow, everything begins to align. Not because you forced it, but because you finally allowed it. 7. Real power is in non-reaction. Lessons from the Buddha. Most people think power is about control, controlling others, winning arguments, or getting the last word. But Buddhism teaches the exact opposite. True power is not found in dominance, but in non-reaction. It's in the calm presence that doesn't flinch, doesn't retaliate, and doesn't need to prove anything. The Buddha was once insulted by a man who expected him to respond with anger. But the Buddha simply smiled and asked, "If someone offers you a gift and you do not accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The man was stunned. In that moment, the Buddha showed a kind of strength the world rarely understands. The strength of inner stillness. When you react, you give your energy away. You allow others to pull your strings. You become a puppet of your emotions. But when you choose not to react, when you observe instead of explode, you reclaim your power. This is the ultimate form of control, not of others, but of yourself. In Buddhist practice, meditation is the training ground for non-reaction. You sit, you breathe, you notice your thoughts rise, and you let them go. You don't chase them and you don't fight them. You simply witness. Over time, this discipline rewires your mind. You stop being a victim of every emotion and start becoming the master of your state. Non-reaction doesn't mean becoming cold or indifferent. It means responding from clarity, not chaos. It means choosing your peace over petty drama. It's saying, I don't need to attend every argument I'm invited to. The strongest person in the room isn't the loudest. It's the one who can stay silent in the face of provocation and still remain rooted in compassion. That's the kind of strength the Buddha carried, and it's available to you. Life will test you. People will trigger you. Situations will push you. But your power lies in how you respond or don't. Every time you choose stillness over reaction, you are becoming unshakable. So remember this, real power is quiet. It doesn't need attention. It doesn't need control. It simply is, calm, centered, and unstoppable. So now you know the truth. Control was never the answer. It was the cage. From the Buddha's silence in the face of insults to the peaceful smiles of monks who own nothing, one message rings loud and clear. Freedom isn't found by holding on. It's found by letting go. You were never meant to carry the weight of the world. You are meant to walk lightly with open hands and a clear heart. When you stop clinging to people, outcomes, and identities, you begin to breathe differently. You think more clearly. You love more purely. You finally begin to live, not through force but through flow. And that's when life responds. That's when doors open. That's when miracles happen. Not because you pushed, but because you trusted. Letting go is not about giving up. It's about choosing peace over pressure, clarity over chaos, presence over perfection. If you've ever felt tired of controlling everything, this is your invitation to rest, to trust, to surrender, not to weakness, but to wisdom. The kind of wisdom that says, I don't have to control everything, I just have to be fully here. And from that place of surrender, you'll realize life always knew what it was doing. You were just holding on too tightly to see it. If this video touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. Let it ripple. And if you want more teachings like this, simple, profound, and life-changing, subscribe, like, and turn on notifications. This is more than a video. It's a spiritual shift. Let go and walk free.